God says you will cry for the rest of your life if you skip this. I have tried many times to reach you. You have only 20 seconds left to respond. Open this immediately before this final warning disappears forever. Don't walk away from this message. Do not allow hesitation to continue stealing the precious days I have given you, because some choices, if delayed for too long, can leave a very deep regret within your heart. I am not saying this to frighten you, nor am I placing a countdown before you and threatening that my love will disappear. I am your father, and a compassionate father does not lead his child through coercion. I am calling you to pause, because I have seen how many times you recognized what needed to change, yet continued telling yourself that tomorrow would be more convenient. You waited until you felt strong enough, confident enough, and sufficiently supported by others, while time quietly continued passing. Today I want you to understand that a turning point does not begin when everything becomes easy. It begins when you stop using difficulty as a reason not to move forward. I have reached you through many ordinary means. Sometimes it was the uneasiness you felt. Each time you returned to an old habit. Sometimes it was the exhaustion warning you that your present rhythm of life was no longer healthy. At other times, I reminded you through sincere counsel, a failure that forced you to reconsider, or a quiet period that made you confront what you had been avoiding. Yet you often pushed these signals aside because they did not arrive in the dramatic way you expected. You wanted a clear answer from heaven, while the truth had already appeared repeatedly. In the consequences of the choices you were making, I do not hide the path in order to make life difficult for you. Many times you simply need enough calmness and honesty to admit what is carrying you farther away from peace. Some doors do not remain open forever, not because I am withholding, but because every season has its appointed time. A good relationship can grow cold if you continually take another person's presence for granted. An opportunity may pass if you refuse to prepare. Your health can decline when warning signs are ignored for too long. A delayed apology can turn a small distance into a deep divide. Therefore, when I tell you not to delay, I am not asking you to run in panic. I am asking you to act with awareness. Look at what has repeatedly knocked upon the door of your heart. Which responsibility do you know you need to fulfill? Which conversation are you avoiding? Which habit do you continue protecting, even though it is exhausting you? The answer is often not far away, my beloved child. The deepest pain is not missing words upon a screen, but spending years living against what you know to be right. It is looking back and realizing that you gave too much time to pleasing people who never truly valued you, remained silent when you needed to speak, stayed where your dignity was being worn away, and abandoned dreams because you feared ridicule. I do not want you to weep over a life governed by fear. I want you to shed tears of relief when you finally become courageous enough to step out of what has imprisoned you. My warning is not a sentence of judgment. It is a hand showing you that you still have an opportunity to change direction before regret becomes too heavy. Do not think that you must make every decision within 10 seconds. Important choices require discernment, prayer, verification, and sometimes counsel from people you trust. I do not push you into haste, because haste can also lead you into error. What I ask is that you stop using careful consideration as a disguise for fear. There is a difference between waiting in order to understand clearly and delaying because you do not want to accept responsibility. Give yourself enough time to think, but establish one specific step. If you need to care for your health, schedule the appointment. If you need to repair your finances, begin by examining your income and expenses. If you need to leave a dangerous environment, seek help and prepare a safe plan. Mature faith is not found only in emotion, it is expressed through wise action. I do not want you to type a certain word in order to prove that you believe. I do not measure your heart through a comment or a public response. I look at your sincerity when no one is watching. Are you willing to acknowledge your mistakes and change? Are you courageous enough to choose truth, even if truth requires you to release something you deeply desire? Can you stop blaming, stop indulging in self-pity, and begin fulfilling your part? These answers reveal whether you are truly listening. The most beautiful declaration is not spoken by the lips, but revealed when you live tomorrow differently from the way you lived yesterday. Perhaps you believe that you have missed too many opportunities and that everything has become too late. I want you to lay down that thought. As long as you are able to recognize the truth, you can still begin. You cannot return and change the years that have passed, but you can decide not to repeat them. You can apologize, even if the apology comes late. You can learn something new, even if others began before you. You can rebuild your health through small changes. You can leave a cycle, even after remaining within it for many years. My mercy is not limited by age or by the number of times you have fallen, but do not turn mercy into another reason to delay. Forgiveness opens the door for you to rise. It does not invite you to remain lying down. The peace you seek will not come merely because your outward circumstances change. It begins when you no longer betray the upright voice within you. Each time you say yes, while knowing that you should say no, you surrender another part of your peace. Each time you hide the truth in order to preserve a relationship, fear grows stronger. Each time you neglect yourself to gain someone else's approval, you move farther away from the person I created you to become. I am calling you back to wholeness, where your thoughts, words, and actions no longer pull you in 3 different directions. When you live consistently, your heart becomes lighter, even if life has not yet become completely easy. I know that you are tired. There are days when you do not delay because of laziness, but because you are too exhausted to begin in those moments. What you need is not self-condemnation, but rest and help. Learn to distinguish avoidance from genuine exhaustion. If you are depleted, do not drive yourself forward with cruel words. Break large responsibilities into smaller steps. Do what matters most first, and then allow yourself to recover. I do not love you more when you accomplish many things, nor do I regard you as less valuable when you need to stop. Yet even while resting, preserve a direction. Rest so that you may continue, not so that you may abandon yourself. You also need to be cautious of outward voices that use fear to control your decisions. Not everyone who tells you that you have only a few seconds is bringing truth. Not every promise of blessing in exchange for an immediate response deserves your trust. I do not exploit your pain, nor do I make you fear that scrolling past something will destroy your destiny. My guidance brings light, even when that light reveals something difficult to accept. It helps you recognize what must be done. It does not push you into vague panic. Learn to test every message by the fruit it produces. Does it lead you toward calmness, responsibility, love, and truth? Or does it merely make you afraid, dependent, and unable to think clearly? Your moment of decision is not a single second, followed by a door closing forever. It is a series of small choices made faithfully. Today you choose to tell the truth. Tomorrow, you choose to maintain a boundary. The following day you choose to continue, even though you have not yet seen results. Gradually, the direction of your life changes. I do not demand that you become an entirely different person in one night. I only want you to stop treating daily choices as insignificant. One drop of water does not create a river, but thousands of drops flowing in one direction form a powerful current. Your life is built in the same way. Look toward the future, not with fear that you will lose a blessing, but with respect for the time you still possess. There are still people for you to love, things for you to learn, places within you that need healing, and good works that have not yet been done. Do not waste the present by continually mourning the past or worrying about a tomorrow that has not arrived. Perform today's work with all the sincerity you possess. If you must decide, decide according to truth. If you need to wait, wait while preparing. If you need to leave, leave with dignity. If you need to begin again, begin with the smallest thing. I have not grown tired of you. Even though you have ignored many reminders, I still call you back patiently. I am not saying that this is your final opportunity in order to terrify you. I am saying that today is precious, and I do not want you to keep wasting what remains in your hands. Rise from delay, but do not run in panic. Walk with a clear mind, a calm heart, and courage refined through difficult days. You have not been abandoned, condemned, or left too late. Let this moment become the place where you choose a new direction. You do not need a loud declaration or to prove anything to anyone. You only need to be honest with me and with yourself. Name what must change, choose the first step, and carry it out faithfully. I will walk with you through every upright decision, sustain you when you are weary, and correct you when you wander. You will not have to spend the rest of your life weeping because you missed a message, but you can avoid many tears by refusing to keep missing the life that has been given to you. Live with awareness. Love while you still have the opportunity. Speak truth when necessary, and enter tomorrow as someone who understands that peace is not hidden behind a secret door, but begins through your sincere obedience today. Do not use an outward action to prove your faith. Let today's choice reveal that you are ready to enter the new path I am opening. I do not need you to click an icon, write a declaration, or perform something before others so that I may know your heart. I see much deeper than that. I see the struggle within you. Each time you know you need to change, but are still afraid to leave what is familiar. I see the moments when you want to move forward, but exhaustion holds you back. The days when everything in your life appears to be operating outside the order you hoped for, and the moments when you wonder whether I am still guiding you. I want you to be at peace, because what is happening is not evidence that you have been abandoned. This very disruption may be leading you out of a direction that no longer fits. You often believe that the right road must always be easy, clear, and exactly as you imagined. When things slow down, you assume that you have failed. When a plan changes direction, you wonder whether your prayers have been rejected. But my beloved child, not every delay is a closed door. There are times when I slow your steps so that you do not rush into a place that will harm you. Some plans must stop because they were built upon the expectations of others rather than upon what is truly right for you. Some things you desperately want to keep would leave you without strength for the new season. If you continued carrying them, redirection can be painful because it forces you to release the future you held for so long, but not every loss is failure. I do not punish you with unopened doors. I am teaching you to distinguish perseverance from stubbornness, trust from clinging, and a genuine dream from the need to prove that you are not less than anyone else. Sometimes you continue knocking on a door merely because you have spent so much time before it, even though deep inside you know there is no longer peace there. Sometimes you hold on to an unhealthy relationship because you fear beginning again. Sometimes you pursue a goal only to change how those who once looked down upon you see you. But if what you seek continually dries out your heart, forces you to exchange your dignity, and makes you live against the truth, you must become courageous enough to acknowledge that the direction does not belong to you. I am making things clear, not through a sign that causes panic, but through the results you have already seen repeatedly. What continually robs you of peace? What makes you become a smaller version of yourself? What forces you to hide the truth, live in constant anxiety, or exhaust yourself merely to keep it alive? Pay attention to those questions. Sometimes you do not need another confirmation, you need enough honesty to accept what you already know. I do not want you to keep circling the same mountain and calling it faithfulness, when in truth, you are merely afraid to leave what is familiar. Obedience begins in very small things. It happens when you pause before speaking in anger and choose silence so that you do not create further harm. It happens when you admit that you need rest instead of continuing to force yourself toward depletion. It happens when you repay a debt, make a necessary call, apologize for a wrong you committed, or say no to an offer that requires you to betray your boundaries. These things may not feel extraordinary, but they change the direction of your life. A great door is often opened through faithfulness in the small responsibilities you have repeatedly overlooked. You cannot continue hoping everything will heal on its own while still living in the ways that created the wounds. You pray for peace while remaining inside useless arguments. You desire better health while repeatedly ignoring rest and signs that require care. You ask for a stable financial future while being afraid to examine how you are using what is already in your hands. You want to be respected while continually returning to places where your dignity is disregarded. I do not say this to condemn you. I only want you to understand that change requires your participation. I can show you the road, but you must choose to walk. I do not force your feet, because love does not control. I place truth before you, give you wisdom, and patiently wait for your choice. Sometimes you wish I would decide on your behalf so that you would not have to bear responsibility, but the ability to choose is precisely what helps you mature. You do not have to continue living according to what your past taught you. You can form new habits, establish new boundaries, and build a life different from what you previously witnessed. Every choice is a stone. If you place those stones in the right direction each day, a new foundation will eventually be formed, even when you cannot yet see the whole structure. Your heart is being tested through things no one else knows. A test does not always appear as a violent event. Sometimes it is simply the moment when you must choose between telling the truth and continuing to hide. Sometimes it is the choice between resting and forcing yourself onward in order to receive praise. Sometimes it is leaving a conversation instead of winning at any cost. These small decisions reveal what truly governs your heart. You may speak extensively about faith, but the way you act when no one is watching reveals the foundation within you. Do not despise one small step. A sincere apology can prevent an entire relationship from falling apart. A timely health examination can protect you from many days of anxiety. One small decision to save can become the beginning of stability. A boundary established today can protect you from years of pain, and one more choice to ignore what matters can allow something small to become a heavy burden. Therefore, I am not telling you to fear every mistake. I only want you to stop living as though daily choices have no meaning. I see every burden you have carried that others do not fully understand. You have had to be strong for so long that sometimes even you forget that you are allowed to feel weak. You care for many people, keep everything from collapsing, and continue smiling when inwardly you only want to rest. I have seen those days, but I do not want strength to become a mask that prevents you from asking for help. You do not need to do everything alone in order to prove your value. Allow trustworthy people to come near. Speak honestly when you have exceeded your strength. Seek appropriate support when sadness, anxiety, or exhaustion persists. You are permitted to receive after years of doing nothing, but giving even when you do not feel my presence. I remain near through things you once considered ordinary. I am present in the measure of strength that enables you to complete a difficult day. I am present in the counsel that keeps you from a harmful decision. I am present in the unexpected calm that comes when you believe you are about to collapse. I am present in the person who sits with you and listens without judgment. My nearness does not always arrive through intense emotion. Often it resembles a quiet hand, holding you upright, and only much later do you recognize how deeply you were sustained. Do not assume that because your life is still disordered, I am not leading you. A new road often begins with a period when the old no longer fits, and the new has not yet become clear. That in-between place can make you uneasy. You no longer want to return, but you do not yet know where you are going. Be patient. Do not run back to familiar places merely to feel safe, because uncertainty frightens you. I am teaching you to walk step by step, not to rush forward. Make clear what is immediately before you, and the farther part will be revealed when you need it. Take this invitation to change seriously, but do not turn it into fear that one mistake will destroy your future. I am not a father waiting for you to misstep, so that I can turn away when you fall, rise when you wander, adjust your direction. When you are uncertain, pause and seek discernment. Obedience is not one perfect decision, but a continuing journey of returning to what is right. I care more about your direction than your speed. One slow but sincere step is better than running quickly in the wrong direction. Today, choose one thing you will no longer delay. Do not promise to change your whole life overnight. Take one visible step. Write a plan, schedule an appointment, begin the conversation, reorganize a responsibility, or leave what you already know is no longer healthy. Take that step calmly. I do not need a loud declaration. I want to see you honor what you have recognized through sincere action. My beloved child, I have never abandoned you, even during the days when you felt directionless. The times you walked in circles did not cause me to stop calling you. Your moments of resistance did not exhaust my patience, but my love will not allow you to remain asleep forever inside what is hurting you. Therefore, I continue reminding you, opening your eyes to truth, and placing within you the desire to live differently. Walk with me, not through panic, but through trust. The prepared road may not resemble what you once imagined, but it will lead you closer to peace, dignity, and the true person I created you to be. Listen, choose and walk. Because through one small action today, the entire direction of your life can begin to change. Listen with a calm heart. Because what I want to remind you of now is not a threat, but the value of time, and your responsibility toward the opportunities placed in your hands. I remain patient when you are slow to understand, welcome you back when you move in the wrong direction, and do not abandon you because you once hesitated. But life upon the earth contains seasons that do not last forever. Some words need to be spoken while the person you love is still beside you. Some decisions need to be made before circumstances change. Some doors need to be entered when you have already been prepared. If you continually delay because of fear, you may one day look back with regret, not because I punished you, but because time continued moving while you remained in the same place. I do not want you to live impulsively, chase every invitation, or treat every passing feeling as a command. I want you to distinguish wise caution from procrastination, hidden behind reasonable explanations. There are times when you say you are waiting for the right moment, but in reality, you are afraid of failure. There are times when you claim to need another sign while the truth has already appeared repeatedly through the results of the situation. You know that a relationship is draining you, that a habit is destroying your peace, and that a responsibility needs to be fulfilled. But you continue waiting for something extraordinary to make the decision for you. I do not want you to keep surrendering the power of choice to fear. You prayed for clarity, and sometimes the answer does not come through a great voice. It appears in repeated uneasiness. Whenever you move in the wrong direction in sincere counsel, you have heard many times, or in the way a plan continually reveals unhealthy elements. Perhaps you wanted me to confirm what you desired, but I illuminated what you needed. These are not always the same thing. You want to keep a door because you have stood before it for too long, while I want you to look toward another road. You want a person to change so that you do not have to leave, while I am teaching you to establish boundaries. You want circumstances to become easier, but I am helping you become wiser and more mature. The important question is no longer whether you have received a sign, but what you will do with the truth you have recognized. Will you continue pretending not to know what is hurting you? Will you keep saying that someday you will change while repeating the same way of living each day? I do not ask you to solve everything immediately, but I want to see one honest step. A small decision today may prevent years of regret. A conversation entered through courage may open the way for reconciliation. A boundary established at the right time may protect your dignity. One decision to seek help may end a long season in which you carried everything alone. There are certain things you call blessings that you are not yet able to receive, not because I enjoy holding what is good, but because you are still carrying habits that could destroy them. You ask for greater opportunity while remaining unfaithful with the small thing already in your hands. You desire a peaceful relationship while allowing old wounds to determine your reactions. You ask for greater resources while remaining unwilling to examine how you manage what has already been entrusted to you. I do not require perfection before opening a door. I only want you to be honest enough to recognize what needs to change and humble enough to learn what you still lack. Readiness is not measured by the absence of fear. Many times, you may still tremble and yet be able to step forward. It does not mean understanding everything completely before beginning. Readiness is when you stop requiring control over every result before you are willing to act. You fulfill your part with integrity and then accept that not every outcome lies within your hands. You can prepare carefully, seek wise counsel, and choose cautiously, yet some things will still be unpredictable. Trust is not closing your eyes and rushing forward. It is walking with your eyes open, doing what is right, and refusing to allow uncertainty to force you back into old cycles. You have tried to repair too many things through your own strength. You believed that if you thought long enough, worked hard enough, and controlled every detail, you could avoid disappointment. But the tighter you hold everything, the more exhausted you become. You have carried the reactions of others, the future of your family, the results of your work and events that have not even happened upon your shoulders. I never gave you the burden of guaranteeing that everything would unfold according to your expectations. Your part is to live honestly, prepare wisely, love with boundaries, and act according to what you know is right. What lies beyond your authority must be released. Walking with me does not make you passive. You cannot claim to be waiting for guidance while neglecting your health, finances, or responsibilities. When you ask for a way forward, be willing to study the map, learn the required skills, and leave familiar places. When you pray for peace, stop feeding arguments that produce nothing good. When you desire restoration, distance yourself from what repeatedly reopens the wound. I can guide the road, but you must lift your feet. I can open an opportunity, but you need to be present, prepared, and faithful in your actions. Look at your exhaustion as a reminder, not as a sentence. It reveals that you have been holding too many things for too long. Some responsibilities genuinely belong to you, but other burdens are carried only because you fear disappointing people. You try to rescue everyone, reconcile every conflict, and make everyone satisfied. In that process, you gradually become unable to hear your own needs. I want you to learn how to say that you cannot do everything. Ask others to help. Rest before your body forces you to stop. Separate yourself from noise that leaves no room in your mind for clarity. Some blessings begin when a burden is removed from your shoulders, not when another gift is placed into your hands. Perhaps what I want to give you is freedom from the need to control. Perhaps it is the ability to sleep peacefully without possessing every answer. Perhaps it is the courage to leave something in which you invested many years, but which no longer gives life. Do not restrict goodness to the form you previously imagined. A closed door can also be rescue. A delay can help you avoid an unwise decision. A redirected plan can lead you toward a place more suitable for the person you are becoming. I want you to come into alignment with my guidance by allowing your inward life and outward actions to stop contradicting one another. If you ask for truth, be willing to hear what makes you uncomfortable. If you want to mature, accept that some habits must end. If you desire healthy relationships, learn honest communication and stop tolerating disrespect. If you want to enter a new season, do not carry everything from the old one with you. Alignment is not a mystical feeling. It is choosing to live consistently with the upright values you have recognized, my beloved child. I have not run out of patience with you, but I do not want mercy to become an excuse for wasting your life. You can always return, but not every circumstance will remain still while waiting for you. Therefore, value the present. Speak words of love while you still have the opportunity. Apologize while a relationship can still be healed. Care for your health before small signs become serious. Begin building what you desire instead of merely praying and waiting. You do not need to run in panic, but neither should you fall asleep inside.
Beep.
Today, choose one specific step. Perhaps you need to stop something, begin a habit, complete a responsibility, or seek someone who can help. Take that step calmly without making a dramatic declaration. I do not look at noise. I look at faithfulness. One small choice that is maintained will bring more change than an emotional moment, quickly forgotten. You do not have to create every result by yourself. You only need to fulfill what belongs to you and release what was never entrusted to you. I am still here, not to control you, but to walk beside you. When you are tired, lean upon me. When you are uncertain, pause and seek clarity. When you recognize what must be done, stop negotiating with fear. The greatest blessing is not only what waits ahead, it is also the steady, free, and wise person you are becoming along the road. Believe that change does not require perfection. It only needs your willingness, honesty, and courage to take the next step. I will lead you, but today you must choose to walk with me.